Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over some of the differences between the 3 and the 5-step drop, as well as some of the common errors that we'll see when doing the 3 and 5-step drop, so you can clean that up for yourself, and we're going to hop in the video right now. All right, so we're gonna start with the 3-step drop and really get into some of the fundamentals behind it. I would say the first thing that's gonna be most important when it comes to the 3-step drop is getting separation from the center when you're starting off. So when you're going back, you really wanna make sure that you are getting plenty of distance here within that first step. That ends up being really the most important part of the 3-step drop, is being able to get plenty of distance as you're going. And then it's gonna be, so it's one big step and then 2 quick steps afterwards. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to be throwing from there. Now, an important part with the 3-step drop that you just want to be able to understand is that when you are throwing it to either the right side or the left side, really dictates a lot of where that back foot should end up pointing. So when I'm throwing it to the left side, I'm going to end up kind of turning my foot there, so then I can get that foot down and be able to open up correctly there. Now, and then with the right side, I'm going to end up kind of closing off that foot a little bit more there. So that ends up being some of the differences between throwing it to the left and throwing it to the right. One of the things I want you to really understand and really take note of when going through the 3 and the 5-step drop is, just the drops in general, is that when you get back to the end of the drop and you begin to open up, what I commonly see is that when quarterbacks do this, there's a tendency to really fling open that front shoulder, right? Especially if you're a right-handed quarterback throwing it to your left side, or a left-handed quarterback throwing it to your right side. When you get back to the end of the drop and you're going here, a tendency to really fly open with that arm here and allow a lot of the weight to go off to the side. So just make sure that you understand what you're doing as you're going through that drop back with that front arm, where you're pushing off that back leg, keeping that front arm closed, and keeping that front hand close to your pec, to make it so that you can get plenty of rotation in the throw. What happens is when you open up that front hand is that now you're going to take away the rotation and you're going to take away that balance that you have as you're going through, and it's going to affect the accuracy. And quick interruption just to say, if you like the information so far, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below. That helps us out a ton. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, leave them down below. We're gonna hop right back in the video. Now, the main difference between the 3 and the 5-step drop ends up being the separation from the center. So when you're doing the 3-step drop, what's most important is that first step, and then 1, 2, and then the next 2 are gonna be quickly gathering. Or when you go through the 5-step drop, it's gonna be 3 big steps, and then those last 2 gatherings. So now it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So now you wanna try to get as much distance as you can within that first step, right? And make sure that when you're doing this, that you're not crossing over. So that first step doesn't wanna be back behind you here. It wants to be straight back, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So 3 bigs, where you're trying to pick up as much space, and a quick last 5 as you're getting going. And it's the same thing when you get to that back step and understanding where you're gonna be throwing off of that foot to be able to get you set up. So if I'm going to the left, I want to be able to turn here as I'm getting going. And if I'm going to the right, it's the same idea, 1, 2, 4, 5, and you're pushing off that back leg. Now, I recently did a breakdown to really go into that back leg and how you want to be able to gather through there and push off. And the reality of it is, you don't have a ton of time back there. You want to use that back foot to be able to gather and understand how to absorb through there, but you can't allow too much of your weight to get onto that back leg, where then you can't push off of it and get good rotation. So it's really important to be able to control through that back leg, but also right away be able to generate force off that back leg and initiate that rotation within the hips in order to make sure you're able to throw the ball really well. There's a lot of complexities that go into playing the quarterback position well, and yeah, it's important to be able to have a lot of power and be able to throw the ball really far, but if you don't have a great understanding of the dropbacks and how to be able to generate force out of your body as you're going through the 3-step drop and the 5-step drop, that really makes a big impression on coaches that are looking to recruit you, right? It takes a lot of time to be able to coach somebody how to go through those dropbacks correctly. And quite frankly, when it comes to top D1 colleges, they're not looking to be able to really spend that type of time to be able to do that. They want to see somebody that's already polished in those very fundamental areas of being a quarterback. And so it really makes a big impression if you go in there and you already have a great understanding of how to do some of those dropbacks. And even from a run game perspective, make sure that you're able to get to the stretch and the inside zone and just have a great understanding of how to be a quarterback. And so you really want to work on throwing the football for sure, but also work on some of these parts that You know, it could also save your arm, right? You don't always have to be throwing the ball 100 times a day. You could also just be working on some of the key parts of your drop back that can make a big difference and give you a good workout at the same time. So if you guys want to have any more information about how to improve as a quarterback, go ahead and check out a quarterback program that's going to really help you out a ton. You can also get a breakdown from us. It's a great way to be able to make some quick changes within your mechanics. And you can also check out our throw program that really gives you a good understanding of how to improve your footwork and your 3-step drop, your 5-step drop, as well as how to improve your upper body strength to really maximize your throwing performance. So we have everything here for you at Performance Lab. We want to be able to help you out as best you can. Thanks for watching the video. Talk to you soon.